friend. Welcome to the Fruitful Fertility Podcast. Do you want to better understand your body so you can get pregnant naturally? Do you find yourself up late at night Googling how to ovulate on your own or natural fertility tips? Do you feel lost on what your next step should be? Hey, I'm Tori, a registered nurse, Christian fertility coach, and your new TTC BFF. When I started my fertility practice, I realized how much the modern medical system was missing when it came to supporting women trying to get pregnant. I knew God had called me to this space to bridge that gap and provide more natural fertility support and education. With time and a little trial and error, I found a foundational way to assess infertility cases and get better results. In this podcast, you will finally understand how your body and fertility work, support to stay off that emotional roller coaster, and a proven strategy to improve ovulation and increase your fertility naturally. If you're ready to get started, drop those ovulation sticks and grab a pen because, girl, you look fertile to me. Today, we are going to talk about your cute husband. And yes, I know he's cute because you keep trying to have a baby with him. Why else would you be trying to have a baby with him? And what's going to happen is you are going to get pregnant. You're going to carry that baby for 9 months and it's going to look exactly like him and like you had absolutely nothing to do with it. That is what is going to happen. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about navigating this fertility journey with our husbands. It gets a little bumpy sometimes, right? They can create a little rift. Sometimes it brings you closer together. Sometimes it creates a little rift. Some of you feel like you're in it alone. So I just want to talk about this with so much respect for our husbands. This is not, we're not talking down about them at all. We're in this together, and this episode is about how to really be in it together all the way, spiritually, physically, every bit of it. So even carrying the mental load, because as women, a lot of times we carry the mental load. We do the planning, we do the tests, we make the calls, we buy the supplements, and that's okay. Like, we are given different roles as men and women, but I want to give you a few tips on how to bring him into the fold with you and in the mental load with you to make you feel like you are truly a team. Okay. And so we're going to start off by saying first and foremost that no one is to blame. I don't care if you have endometriosis. I don't care if he has low sperm count. I don't care if you have any contributing factors. It is nobody's fault. Nobody's fault. You are a team. You are in this together. This is a group project. It takes an egg and it takes a sperm. So we really have to optimize fertility on both ends. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you have endometriosis and so you think, well, his numbers are fine, so I don't really need to worry about him. It's all about me. No. Group project, it matters how much you both put into it. And even if one person does have a contributing factor and the other person has none, so to speak, we only increase our chances of getting pregnant by boosting what we do have. Even if it's already good, let's make it better. So I just want you to understand that no one is to blame. And I say this more to you because I know as women, we do typically have PCOS or endo or irregular periods, and we want to hold that blame and we feel responsible, but you are not responsible. Okay, so first, let go of that, but no one is to blame. Not you, not him, not anybody. This is a team effort. Okay? If you are someone, and again, we're not talking bad about our husbands, I know that you might feel this way because I have seen this before in my clients. And if you are someone that feels like you're doing all the heavy lifting and your husband's not really participating, like maybe you're getting the tests, you're taking the supplements, you're doing the workouts, and he's not really doing anything, and you want him in it with you, these tips are for you, okay? Not shaming him. We're just going to work on healthy communication with him. And number one is to have very vulnerable conversations with him. And this is a tip that I was given by a life coach that I worked with. When you're having these hard conversations with your spouse, is to use helpful language. So you're not going to sit down at the table and say, you never take any of your supplements. You never go on walks with me. We don't use that you never accusatory language. We also don't use you always. You always ignore me when I talk about it. So we don't want to open the conversation from a place of accusing them, even if that's not exactly what we're meaning to do. That's kind of how our words feel. I want you to come at it from a place of how you feel. So I want you to sit down, have an eye-to-eye conversation, no distractions, no cell phones, no nothing, and use words like, I feel like you're not in this with me. I feel like I'm doing this alone. And that lets him know that you're not getting on to him. You're not, shaming him. You're just letting him know how you feel. And that opens up the conversation to be a more healing and productive conversation. And you can even ask him, like, how are you feeling? Well, how does it make you feel when I do X, Y, Z? But having those starting with that healthy language is going to create way more healthy communication, which is going to create intimacy, which is going to make you feel like you're a team and you're in this journey together. Another thing I want you to do is to pray for him. So let's say that you've had these hard conversations. He's still not quite in it with you. Maybe he's the husband that's like, oh, it'll happen in God's timing. And so he's not taking the steps. So he's not wrong, but he's also not taking the steps. I also get that. I want you to pray for him. I want you to pray that God will work in his heart, and that instead of you feeling like you have to force or nag him to do something, that God will help put that on his heart and create that motivation within him so that you're not dragging him the whole way. I want you guys to be on the same page. And so sometimes these conversations may be hard, but like, are you on the same page? Are you on the same page with wanting to have children? Are you on the same page with the methods that you're using to get there? Are you on the same page of being in it together? These are big questions and they're hard questions, but I want you to have that healthy communication with him about it. And I want you to pray for his heart as you navigate it. Not just that he'll do what you want him to do, but that God will work in his heart so that he wants to do it and he steps forward and shows up. Okay. I think it's also important to consider why he's acting the way he's acting. And this is not true for just the situation, but in anything. If someone's reacting in a way that you don't like or don't appreciate, I want you to start thinking, why are they acting like that? What is going on? For example, do they feel distant? Is it because they just really don't like you and don't want to have a baby with you? No, not likely. That's the way you feel, but that's likely not what's happening. So what is underneath that? Is he scared of something? Is he scared of the financial burden of the steps you're taking? Is he scared of being a father? Did his father not, was he not a good role model for him? So maybe he's scared he won't be a good father. I don't know. Those are just examples, but I want you to consider what might be behind what he's actually doing versus what he's actually feeling. Because guys are not always great at just telling us straight up how they feel, right? Sometimes we're the talkers, we're the analyzers. And so sometimes we just have to open up the conversation and make it feel like a safe space for them to let us know how they feel. Okay, so that's kind of the emotional aspect there and the mental aspect there. Now I want to talk a little bit about how to make it really easy to both be in it physically, meaning you're both showing up, you're both doing the work. And that is to keep it really simple. If you give him 20 things he's got to do every day, he's not going to do it. And that's true for all of us, not just husbands. When we feel overwhelmed, we just don't act because we're overwhelmed. It's that analysis paralysis. There's too much going on, so it's easier just to shut down and not do anything. So if I could give you a tip on something to incorporate together that make you feel like you're both taking steps to improve your physical health and improve your fertility, but keep it so simple so that neither one of you feel overwhelmed, I want you to go on walks together. This can be after work, it can be before work. I don't know what your schedule is, but make time to walk together. This is a really great place for just connection too. Put your phones up or put on some good music and just walk together outside. You're not scrolling your phones. You're not sitting on the computer working. Any of that. It's just you two. I bet you got a cute dog too. Get your cute dog, take it for a walk, but walk together, talk about your day. This can be just 20 minutes. This doesn't have to be a 3-hour hike. Again, simple is the name of the game. So can you incorporate a 20-minute walk with them? And maybe this is a good place to have some conversations while you're out walking, to have these vulnerable conversations and open up to each other. Maybe it's not. Maybe you just hold hands and watch the sun go down and walk your dog. I don't know. But I want you just to incorporate a walk with him every day. The next thing I want you to do is we're going to do supplements together. So if you haven't done HTMA and you just need somewhere to start, what I would like for you to do is not try to take 1,000 different supplements. Give him 5 bottles of pills he has to take, or you. I want you both to get Rise and Source from Frequence. You've heard me talk about this. There was an episode I did with Jenna Tomer, who's a nurse practitioner, talking about really the complexity of these supplements and how just incredible they are. I really haven't found anything like it. Is why I've been so blown away by them. And I really like them for myself. But I want you all to take these together because here's the thing. Rise and Source is adaptogens and nootropics that really help calm the nervous system, mental clarity. And what I typically see with husbands is they work high stress jobs. They're the providers. They've got a lot on their plate. They're stressed out from work. Some husbands, they have their vices, whether it be smoking or drinking. Some don't, but we need a healthier way to support our nervous system after a long day at work. So one, this 20-minute walk with their cute wife is going to help, but also giving them something that's really easy to incorporate into their supplement routine that's actually going to address that stress in their life. And that is what Rise does. It's like a mango lemonade flavored. It's really light, really refreshing. You can make your drinks and then go on your walk. So maybe that's your evening drink you have together, and then you go on your walk. And the source are the trace minerals that we put back in it. It also has that black humic and fulvic acid that creates a really gentle detox. It helps pull out things like microplastics and pesticides and mold, and adds those minerals back in that are being depleted. So when we live busy, stressful lives, we're using up our mineral stores. So by adding those trace minerals back in, we're supporting our fertility in a foundational way. So again, this is all about simplicity. You're going to walk together and you're going to make him a little lemonade drink, or he's going to make you one, but it's something that he'll actually take and be consistent with, because it's not a handful of capsules. It's just something he's going to drink when he gets home from work. And in Frequence, these Rise and Source products, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you have no reason not to try it to see if it works for you. But I think that this combination of healthy communication, praying for him, creating a really, really simple plan. Walking, if you've been around here at all, you've heard me talk about the power of walking. I even did a whole episode on it, and I don't know the episode number off the top of my head, but walking is really great for supporting our nervous system. It's great for lymphatic drainage. It's great for helping set our circadian rhythm if you're walking outside. It's great for balancing blood sugar. So if you want to go for a walk after you eat dinner, that's a great time to do it, because it's going to help balance those blood sugars. So it's really doing so much more than you think it is. It seems almost too simple and too easy, but it's so beneficial, especially if you're doing it together, especially if you hold hands. Bonus points if you hold hands while you're walking. But I think by doing just these simple things, you're going to feel more connected, you're going to feel more in it together, and you're actually going to see results. Since I found Rise and Source with Frequence, I knew that I felt better on them and was having such a good reaction to them, so to speak. And so I wanted to see how this would translate to my fertility girls, for you guys, for couples. And so I'm actually in the middle of a 30-day challenge with a handful of women right now. And one woman, her husband is doing it with her, which I love, exactly what we're talking about today. But I want to read you their what they wrote for what they're experiencing on week 3 of taking this. The first week, she said she felt like she could hear colors, which is so funny. And I love that description of just feeling like truly having so much mental clarity. But this is week 3, and I'm reading off my sheet what they wrote. So I asked the question, what differences have you noticed at this point? The husband said, I have more energy, my skin is softer, I've been taking my earthly tincture with my Rise and Source, and my libido is a lot higher. This is what the wife had to say. So this is a little bit long, but listen in, because this is such a good testimonial. She said, I'm not sure if it's all Rise and Source, that or the combination of walking, eating healthier. I had a huge win. I've always had horrible periods with painful symptoms starting at least a week, maybe longer, leading up to my period. When I start, I'm out of commission for 2 days. I'm under the heating pad, most times even taking pain meds due to the intense pain. I'm usually the gal that has one good week out of the month due to my body changing to hormones and painful symptoms. Well, last Thursday, my husband and I were doing yard work, and after I got done weed eating, I looked at him and said, I think I'm cramping. He said, oh, I forgot you were supposed to start your period. You haven't acted like it. The only symptoms I felt around Sunday and Monday were sore, swollen breasts and some bloating. Then nothing until Thursday afternoon. And it was within an hour of starting to cramp that I started. I have never done that. I sat under the heating pad that night, not in pain, but just normal cramping. No pain meds, no period tincture. I was astonished. After years of endometriosis and PCOS, I have never had such an easy period. I wasn't even upset that my period came. This is so huge for me. And there's a little bit more there where she just says, this must be what it's like to have a normal period. Thank God he helped me find your website and you. So just so much goodness there. So much goodness there. I know that was a longer testimonial, but I wanted you to see why I keep suggesting these. And it's the results and it's the simple implementation. And so when we want to be in it with our husbands, we got to make it simple. So pray over him, healthy communication, get in some walks, and start Rise and Source. I will have the links below for you. I hope this was helpful. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode touched your heart or taught you something, I'd be honored if you share it with a friend who could use the information too. And if you want to be the real MVP, then would you also take 30 seconds to tap those 5 stars at the bottom and leave a written review telling me what you're loving? It lights me up to know this podcast is really helping you. Don't forget, you're super cute and super fertile, so meet me back here next week and let's keep chatting and learning together.